Hey guys, Frightener22 here, and welcome to my May 17th DVD and Blu-ray update. It's probably been about 2-3 weeks since the last update, and I've just been really dragging my feet with doing a new video, so I knew I wanted to do one as soon as possible because I have a pretty nice pile of stuff to show you guys, so before we get into the rest of this month, and of course into June where there is just tons and tons of releases, I really wanted to squeeze one in to show you guys everything I've gotten within the last 3 weeks, which is quite a lot. So, all that said, sit back, relax, and enjoy my May 17th DVD and Blu-ray update. First one I got is actually a DVD, and it's a documentary on one of my favorite bands of all time. It's an incredible documentary, by the way, and it's called End of the Century, The Story of the Ramones. If you guys have been following me on my Twitter feed, you can see that I picked up a few Ramones books, like Commando, which is Johnny Ramone's autobiography, as well as On the Road with the Ramones, which was written by the Ramones' tour manager, Monty Melnick. Both fantastic books. I've also read the book that Joey's brother wrote on him called I Slept with Joey Ramone, which is another great read. But this documentary is, it's fantastic. It runs about 150 minutes and goes through everything, interviews with everybody, brutally honest. I don't know if you guys can even see, but the quote up top on this DVD cover is from Johnny Ramone himself, and it says, "It's accurate, it left me disturbed." And it absolutely is. I mean, none of these guys hold back. There's real straight shooters about all the tension, all the drama, all the hardships, and of course everything that they endured throughout their whole 22-year existence, doing it before they retired in 1996, all the way to their induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So, I mean, it hits on everything. This documentary is incredibly thorough, really well detailed, and above all, it's brutally honest. So this is hands down a definitive thing to have in any hardcore Ramones collector's collection. So this comes highly recommended from me. Next one I got is a blind buy from Shout Factory. I picked it up mainly because I've heard nothing but great things about the original film of this series, but although I have the original film, I still have not yet watched it. So I just wanted to pick this one up because I've heard that this is a sequel that a lot of people are throwing around, comparing it to 1981's Halloween 2, and that's a really cool thing to, compare it to. So I'm excited to check this out. I hope to do a double feature of both of these films, but this one that just came out from Shout in April was Cold Prey 2. Like I said, can't comment on it, haven't watched it, but I've heard nothing but cool things. I'm sure plenty of you guys have seen it already, because I've heard nothing but, awesome things from a lot of you guys, so that's really what inspired me to check this film out. So, all in due time, I'll get to both of these, and I know that there is a Cold Prey 3 that came out a few years back, so hopefully maybe Shout Factory or another company stateside will be able to put that out on DVD or Blu-ray. And yeah, that's another thing. Shout Factory did only issue this on DVD only, so don't, pull your hair out trying to find the Blu-ray version on Amazon, because it's not there, but this will, absolutely be sufficient enough, so no worries. Next one I got is a recent film that I saw this winter, which I loved a lot, and I don't quite understand, a lot of the flack that it got, because I thought it was a really fun movie. And this is the Blu-ray DVD combo pack of Gangster Squad. This film was directed by Ruben Fleischer, who is probably most well known these days for doing Zombieland, and then he followed that up with 30 Minutes or Less, and then he did this film. This film was awesome. It was a noir. I think that it really held true to the same ideals and fun style that those noirs that we, all those classic noirs. I'm not saying that it's on the same level as a lot of those classic noirs, but it just, it inhabits that same really fun spirit, which I love about noirs. And the cast in this is what really makes it. You have Ryan Gosling, who I absolutely unashamedly have a man crush on. I think he's fantastic in everything that he does, and I've always looked forward to his projects. And then, of course, he's just rounded out by another bunch of great people like Josh Brolin and Robert Patrick, Emma Stone, Sean Penn playing a ruthless Jewish gangster in this one. He's awesome. I really liked his performance. Some people thought he was playing it a little too over the top, but that's what I liked about it, actually. I kind of felt a little reminiscent of, like, Dick Tracy. Not that over the top, but still, within the same ballpark, I would say. But like I said, this was really a really fun movie, packed a lot of good action, cool performances from its cast. I know it got a lot of controversy brewing about it, in the wake of the tragic Aurora shooting, incidents that happened. There was a scene in this film that was shown in the trailer about a bunch of people, shooting Tommy guns through the back of a movie screen, which looked fucking awesome. So I was bummed that this film got delayed because they were going to take it out. And I know that there's deleted scenes on here, but I didn't even cut into the deleted scenes yet, so I'm not sure if that's on there. It would make absolute sense if it was, but can't really comment on that. You may have to check out some more thorough reviews on it, but like I said, if you haven't seen this one, check it out. It's really fun. Next one I got is a favorite 80s sex comedy, probably like the definitive sex comedy, so I had to pick it up. It's Bob Clark's Porky's. Awesome film. I mean, what more can you say about this that hasn't been said already? It's like the definitive sex comedy. I mean, every sex comedy that came after it has all or less just ripped it off. And, Porky's was there first. It's hands down one of the best, if not the best. Hysterical. Check it out. It's pretty cheap these days. I think I locked this when it, dropped to, less than $8. So, yeah, it only came out, I think, in April or so, but it's already dropped really heavily. So, scoop it up if, you're in the mood for an impulse buy. Next one I got, I had to pick up because not only have I heard that the film is great, but this is packed with so many great special features that for the special features alone, I was more than happy parting $17 with. Haven't watched it yet. It's been really high up on the queue, but there's just been always one or two things that I have been getting to first before I've gotten to this film. But I'm looking forward to checking it out. And this is VCI's release of The Name of the Game is Kill. What a great cover. I mean, just an awesome, cool, vintage poster look. This sounds awesome, and the bonus features in it are just to die for. I mean, there's an introduction by a documentary filmmaker, Daniel Griffith. There's an audio commentary with a screenwriter, moderated by Dan Griffith. There's a whole featurette making of documentary that has so many great people talking about it, like the cinematographer from Deliverance and film director Joe Dante, who's one of my favorites, writer, film historian from Video Watchdog, the great Tim Lucas, who's great. Yeah, it's just got a ton of really cool, extensive special features on this, and I just heard nothing but awesome things about this. So I've heard, or rather, I'm really excited to dive into this just based on everything that I've been reading. So hopefully this weekend, if not next week, I'll finally cut into this. Next one I got, I had to pick up, because this is one that I've seen for years and years at bootlegger tables at horror movie conventions, and for whatever reason I haven't picked it up, but thankfully I guess the film director of this film always retained the rights to it, so he put out his own collector's edition pressed DVD of this film, which is great, because the more of these forgotten gems that got put out, the better for everybody. So I think it's a limited edition of only 1,000, and the cool thing about this is that if you do buy it, you get a signed, autographed picture of Linnea Quigley and the director, which is awesome, and it's numbered as to what edition you got. And of course I'm talking about Linnea Quigley's Horror Workout. Great cover. I'm going to show you guys a little bit more detail on this one. Like I said, you get the picture inside. I got 93 or 931 out of 1,000 copies. That's what it looks like on the inside. You'll get this, you'll get this signed picture, and then right here on the bottom is where they handwrite what number you've gotten out of the 1,000. Yeah, I mean, I've never watched this, but, I've seen clips of it throughout the years, and like I said, it's one of those big bootleg titles that are always seen at convention table, so it's really cool to see that the director put stuff together. And there are special features on it. There's a commentary with him and Linnea Quigley. There's interviews with the cast and crew, looking back on the making of this film, a still gallery, and a trailer for the director's, latest film, or maybe an older film of his called The Halfway House. So, yeah, this is a cool thing to support any of these independent efforts, especially when they're doing it on their own dime, and especially when they make it press releases and not crappy DVD-Rs. It's always good and important to support, the recent Jeff Lieberman Blu-ray DVD release of Remote Control, another great independent thing to support, and this one is right up there with it, so definitely, go on Google, should be pretty easy to find the link, but yeah, just order it through the website, PayPal, the whole nine, it's well worth it. Next one I got is a Kubrick film that I always liked, went to Best Buy, although I hate that place, decided to pick up some, a few things thanks to the Upgrade and Save program, which is now over, so I picked this up because I, love Kubrick, and this is one that I've always loved and just never had it in the collection. It's Eyes Wide Shut. Awesome. Blind Buy, I picked this up because I've heard awesome things about this. People are going on and on about how it's like an instant cult classic. And this is Stitches, killer clown movie. Seemed pretty cool. I like clown movies like this. Next one I got, which I originally had to cancel my pre-order on, but thanks to the upgrade and save program, I ended up getting it for a decent price. Still pretty expensive, but this is Jurassic Park 3D. Of course, I don't have a 3D TV yet, and I did miss the theatrical 3D re-release of this, which really bummed me out. So I didn't want to miss out on just kind of dragging my feet on never picking this up, because 1 week becomes 3, and then you just never end up getting it. So I wanted to do it now while it's still fresh in my mind. Next one I got was one that I had to cancel the pre-order on originally too, but I was happy to get this, and I was all the more surprised that Best Buy had like countless copies of this on their shelves. It just seems like an unusual film to stock for a big retailer, but nonetheless, it's a Shout Factory title, and this is Woochi the Demon Slayer. Producer Cliff McMillan is actually, he's the DVD producer on this title. And he said it's a pretty fun movie. He kind of sold me on it. So yeah, it was, I had seen originally when the pre-order went up. I did some brief reading on it. It looked cool, but Cliff said that it's actually a pretty fun time, and, for that alone, I'm willing to give it an impulse buy viewing. But yeah, it seems fun. Definitely up my alley. Next one I got, or actually the last one I had gotten during my first day at the Upgrade and Save program, is Silver Linings Playbook. I didn't see this during its theatrical release, so this was my first time checking it out, and I loved it. I thought it was great, great performances from De Niro, Bradley Cooper. Jennifer Lawrence was great in this. Just their whole chemistry between Cooper and Lawrence really makes the film what it is. And De Niro really shedding those great acting chops that he has, but we, have sorely been missing them in the last few years, but it's great to kind of see him tap into some, meatier parts like in this movie. So overall, it's a good film. I'd really recommend it. It's good, fun dramedy. Next one I got from the great Scream Factory line, and this is a Hammer title, and this is The Vampire Lovers. I actually have this one-sheet poster. Without ever having seen the film, I just fell in love with this art. And I love Hammer titles, but this is one that just always escaped me, so thanks for Scream Factory for coming to the rescue on this one, so I'm excited to cut into it. Next one I got, had to pick it up because I love Judy Garland, absolutely love her, so this was the most recent film that just came out on the Blu-ray format with her and Fred Astaire, and this is Easter Parade, pretty awesome. Got this for like $13.99. Next three titles are from another one of my favorite independent labels, and this is Scorpion Releasing. The first one is a part from their Katarina's Cat Scratch Cinema line, and this is Rentadick. Not mine, but that's the movie title. But yeah, it seems like a pretty hokey comedy. I think some of the players from Monty Python are involved in this. I don't know too much about it. I'm just a sucker for anything Scorpion Releasing, and I love supporting Walter's releases. I think that he does a great job, as well as Bill from Code Red. He does great work, so I just love supporting the Olsens and anything that they do. And the Cat Scratch Cinema line is another fun banner, like their Katarina's Nightmare Theater line, and there's always fun titles to be had in this line, so I figured I'm already this far in the line, of course I'm going to keep picking up their titles just for mere support. That said, with more Katarina stuff, the next two are from the Nightmare Theater line, and this one I did just get to a few days ago, and this is Body Melt, an exploitation film from '94, which I really, really enjoyed. It's so fucking out there. I mean, it's insane. The special effects in this are crazy. I mean, they are just ridiculously crazy. It's a cool film. It's actually a really nifty social commentary on what we do to make ourselves look good, and I think that this film is actually a little bit more potent today than it probably was during its original release, so it's an unusual film in the Nightmare Theater line, but one that's actually really good. I thought that this was a really unique and fun addition to the Nightmare Theater line, so this comes very highly recommended. It's a definite interesting watch, to say the least. And the next Nightmare Theater line is actually a double feature of some more exploitation films, which I have not gotten to yet, but they look really interesting. And this one is The Dreaming with Initiation. These films are both from 1989. There's an on-camera interview with producer Tony Giannani. I don't know if he's the producer on both films or what have you, but He's a producer on one, if not both of them. But yeah, you know, you can never go wrong with, like I said, the titles in this Nightmare Theater line, especially when they're double features, more bang for your buck. So definitely continue to keep supporting Scorpion releasing. They definitely pick up some great titles. And the next batch of titles that I have to show from you are from the second time I went to Best Buy's Upgrade and Save program. And this one I picked up because I did want to see this originally, but just never got around to. And this is the Blu-ray DVD combo pack of Rock of Ages Extended Edition. I don't know, just something about this kind of sold me on it. I love the 80s, obviously, if it hasn't been obvious to you guys these last 4 years. But I'm obsessed with the 80s. This music is the type of music that I love. I love hair metal. I cannot get enough of hair metal. So the cast in this seems really fun. Tom Cruise, Alec Baldwin, Paul Giamatti. You know, it just seems fun. It seemed like it had a really fun, playful spirit about it, so I was happy to do a blind buy on it, so we'll see how it plays. The next one I got is actually a blind buy that I regret. I wish I would have just Netflixed it because it was horrendous. I hated it. But nonetheless, it's in the collection now, so whatever. And this is the Blu-ray DVD combo pack of Judd Apatow's This Is 4D. I really just did not like this movie at all. I mean, it is just wah, wah, wah. I mean, Judd Apatow is he's a good director, man, and he's totally capable of comedy. That's obvious. But there's just this thing that he seems to be doing with this film, and then he did it in Funny People, and, you know, even to an extent he did it in Knocked Up, too, is where he draws you in with so much great comedy and great comedic performances from his cast, but then somewhere through sometimes the, you know, overly long runtime of his films, it just gets a little too real, a little too dramatic, a little too serious, and it just sucks the fun that pulls you into the beginning of his films out of it. You kind of walk out a little disappointed, especially in this film where it just seemed a little too, you know, I was just kind of like, wah, 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 like, cry me a river, like, I'm 40, but yet you guys, like, are still living large, and you have, like, beautiful house, and you have, like, cool jobs and stuff like that, so it was kind of hard to sympathize with these characters, and I'm not gonna buy the fact that I'm not 40 to get what they're going through, because it's nonsense, frankly, because, you know, I've talked with several people that are in and around 40 that just thought the exact same thing as me, is that it was just kind of overly dramatic and it just didn't pack enough laughs to keep them invested. That said, I'm not, you know, you would think I'm shitting on Judd Apatow, but I'm not. I love Judd Apatow, actually. You know, Freaks and Geeks, the 40-year-old version, which I think is his greatest film yet, and, you know, Heavyweights. I mean, the guy's a genius, he really is, but I just wish that he would kind of just tone it back a little bit with the drama. Like, you know, like, people want to come to movies to laugh. They don't always want to get, like, life lessons or what have you. I just think that he just needs to kind of get back to doing more comedy that makes people feel good than kind of, you know, make them feel a little miserable at the end, which is what This Is 40 made me feel like. So, you know, take it for what it's worth, but this was not a favorite of mine. Next one I got was a blind buy, because I have never seen this film for being such a big Brian De Palma fan, and this was actually another one from the Upgrade and Save program, so this was the second to last one I got, and this is the Untouchables. Like I said, blind buy, love gangster films, love Brian De Palma, great cast in this, I'm sure I'm going to love it. And this is the last one that I got from the Upgrade and Save program. I got this, I think it was like $7.99 after the Upgrade and Save, and this is the double feature of Scooby-Doo 1 and 2. This is the only way that I think you can get Scooby-Doo 2 on Blu-ray, and I don't know if people even knew, but it is actually a 2-disc set. They're all not stuffed onto one Blu-ray, which is surprising. I would have absolutely thought they would have just, you know, put them on to one Blu-ray, because I think that would have been more than sufficient. But, yeah, the films they're each separate Blu-ray, and they have, you know, a bunch of special features, you know, additional scenes, music videos, and stuff to boot. So this is actually a pretty good deal if you know, grew up on the Scooby-Doo cartoon, because the first movie was okay. I can't remember if I saw the second one. I did see the second one, I just don't really remember it that well, I think. But, yeah, just wanted to have it in the collection. It's a nice one. Next one I got is one that always loved, absolutely loved it, and it wasn't until my best friend actually brought it up to me, and he hit the nail on the head, and we really talked about it for a long time, and I absolutely joined the bandwagon in thinking that this film, I think, is one of the greatest screenplays ever written. I sincerely believe that, and I really encourage people to go back to the film with that in mind and really take note of how great the screenwriting is in this film. And this is the 30th anniversary special collector's edition of Saturday Night Fever. I just think that it's so well written. I think that there's such a naturalistic quality going on. You know, you just really feel like you're like the fly on the wall to these great personalities and these, you know, real life people talking. But it's never boring. It's never like boring, groveling bullshit that, you would, consider yourself to, consider to shoot yourself in the head listening to these people for too long. You're just thoroughly invested in, what's going on and what the events are that are, surrounding these characters. I think it's a great film. The screenwriting is fantastic, and it's John Travolta. I mean, this is what blew Travolta out to the world, and ever since then, he's been, iconic name to people. So this is a fantastic film. But like I said, one of the greatest screenplays ever written. The next one I got was A Blind Buy, and I actually thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed this. And this is Jessica Chastain and Guillermo del Toro produced... Yeah, he produced this one. That's right. He produced this one, much like he did with Don't Be Afraid of the Dark a few years back, and this is Mama. This was a really cool movie. Really good jump scares in this one. I think that that's where the majority of the film kind of pulls all of its scares from. It's a lot of jump scares, but they're good. They're done really, really well. Yeah, definitely check it out. Next one I got is from Disney through their Touchstone banner, and this is a double feature 2-movie collection of Shanghai Noon and Shanghai Nights. I remember when these movies came out theatrically when I was a kid, but I never saw them, but I just always thought they had a fun atmosphere, so I was like, the price is right, I'll take a chance on these two, so. And another, for what would have seemed like a forgotten horror movie, Olive Films have rescued, and this is 1995's Night of the Scarecrow. Never seen this one, but I have seen it bootlegged to hell on the convention circuit, so it's cool to see this get a release, let alone a Blu-ray release. So I give props to Olive for really unearthing a lot of, lesser known or lesser loved horror films, or films in general, and giving them Blu-ray treatment. It's awesome. Next one I got was A Blind Buy, which I wanted to see in theaters, because it was like, it came out the day before my birthday, and I was going to make this my birthday movie, but I ended up not seeing it. And this is the Blu-ray DVD combo pack of Tom Cruise's latest offering, Jack Reacher. I've heard nothing but awesome things about it. I think a sequel is gearing up, so that sounds like good, because I love Tom Cruise. I think he's awesome. I think he's one of the best working actors today. And yeah, I'm excited to check this one out. Seems right up my alley. Next one I got is from Code Red DVD. Love supporting them too, and this is their latest double feature under the Maria's B-Movie Mayhem banner, and this is Jocks and Classroom Teasers. Classroom Teasers is also known as The Student Body from 1976. Jocks, although that's been on a lot of like Mill Creek combo packs, this is actually cool. Bill actually took the time to record an audio commentary with the director, which is moderated by Maria. You have the theatrical trailer, and then you get a bunch of other Code Red trailers. So that's cool alone to, double dip on, this just to kind of have special features with Jocks on it. But this seems fun. It's really reasonably priced. You can go to, Code Red's Big Cartel store to pick this up. That method of distributing to the fans seems to be working really, really well for them. So I urge you guys to definitely continue supporting Code Red DVD. They, like Scorpion Releasing and Scream Factory, are just putting out great stuff, really unearthing a lot of long-forgotten films that only a niche crowd would really care for, so you have to applaud them for that alone. And the last bunch are, of course, from Shout Factory, my favorite. The first one from them is actually a Shout Select release, and you can only get it through Shout Factory's website or through an Amazon seller by the name of Route 66, who seems to be selling all of Shout Factory's Shout Select titles. I do believe it's just Shout Factory using an Amazon storefront, but whichever is easier for you guys, but that's just the only way you can get it. And this is Season 4 of Hey Arnold. grew up loving the Nickelodeon shows, so of course I own every single Nickelodeon release that they've put out to this day, so this is the latest one that they have, and next month they have Season 3 of The Wild Thornberrys coming out, which again will be a Shout Select title, so keep your eyes peeled for that, but Hey Arnold Season 4 is available now, so definitely scoop it up. Next one I got from the Saban deal is from, this is Season 2, Volume 1 of VR Troopers. Again, love this show. This was obviously a show that was kind of riding the coattails of Power Rangers. This and Big Bad Beetleborg seem to be doing that, but these shows were just as fun as Power Rangers. I loved them. This one is, this show's actually, I think, coming to its end. I think that they only probably have another volume, or maybe a volume or two left, something like that, but it's getting pretty close to wrapping up, which is great. I love seeing shows completed, and Shout Factory seems to be doing a fantastic job handling the Saban library, so Saban made a great choice by selecting Shout Factory to handle all of their high-profile shows like this, so definitely support it. Next one I got, and before I race it, no, and I'm not saying it in a bad way, I just don't want to take credit for being one when I'm not yet. That's it. I'm not a brony. That's the thing. I'm not a brony because I haven't watched my Season 1 set yet. I haven't watched one episode. So you could say I'm kind of like a poser, but I'm not. I've heard good things. Heard good things about it. Shout Factory gave me a My Little Pony crown at Comic-Con. I proudly wore it around, so what of it. But I haven't watched it yet. I've heard nothing but fun things about it. You guys know I'm a huge animation junkie. Fuck it, why am I even defending this? Whatever. I have Season 2 of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Haha, it's funny. I know, it's hysterical. But whatever. You know, a lot of people love it. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's a big, really interesting documentary coming out about the whole brony phenomenon that's been going on. It looks really interesting. But I can't take credit for being one yet, because I haven't watched these episodes. But it's been sold to me that this is a really fun show. It's actually really well written, and the animation looks really nifty in it. So I'm excited to continue supporting this. It's Shout Factory, and, you know, this is actually sold exclusively only through Amazon, much like they did with the Season 1 set. So, you know, I think that this is the best way to do it. You know, I know that they do, like, the individual standalone releases with like a handful of episodes on each one, but since they're doing this and it seems to be working out well for them, I just wait until the full season's release and pick them up. It just makes more sense for me. So I will eventually be getting to Season 1 and Season 2 soon, so maybe you guys can call me a brony before you know it. And finally, the last one of this May 17th DVD and Blu-ray update is a Blu-ray DVD combo pack of a truly forgotten film that we would never have thought would see a release of any kind, and this is Sam Raimi's Crime Wave. I've never actually been able to see this due to its, you know, utter lack of a release, but have no fear, Shout Factory has come to the rescue yet again to give this a Blu-ray DVD combo release. This was Sam Raimi's follow-up from The Evil Dead, and it could not be any more different than what The Evil Dead was. You have screenwriters Joel and Ethan Coen on this film, which is incredibly crazy and cool. Just see that great combination of Raimi and the Coens. And of course you have Bruce Campbell to boot. This is like a wacky, over-the-top noir film from '85. There was just problem after problem after problem on the set of making this film. There's an audio commentary and I believe interview with Bruce Campbell, and he talks about in depth about all the problems and everything that went into this film. I think it was like a pretty big disaster upon release because they didn't really know what they had. They didn't know how to market or distribute it. So it all kind of pretty much became lost. Everybody that was involved in it kind of like ignored that they had done it. But from what I've heard, it's actually kind of worth seeing for like just the sheer like craziness of it all. So for that alone, I'm very excited to check it out. And of course, being a big Sam Raimi fan, gotta have all of his stuff on the shelf. So definitely check it out. It's available now. Well, guys, that concludes my May 17th DVD and Blu-ray update. As always, thank you again for tuning in. It's always a pleasure doing these videos, even if it takes me a little bit longer to get them up on the channel. And definitely continue to follow me on Twitter, where you can see, you know, pictures of the latest things that I pick up and just, you know, other things, movies that I'm seeing in the theater, what have you. So, you know, I always leave the link to my Twitter page if you guys want to follow me there as well. So do what you will with that. But once again, thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in a future video. Take care.